What the DNC did arbitrarily, without discussing it with us, is shut off our access to our own information, crippling our campaign. That is an egregious act.
Fireworks tonight when Senator Bernie Sanders was forced to respond to a data breach that allowed his campaign access to voter information belonging to the Clinton campaign. He's bitterly accusing the DNC of undermining his campaign. Have they all worked it out? Democratic National Committee Chair Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz is standing by in Manchester. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Shannon. Great to be with you.
Okay, it sounds like he apologized tonight, said the offending staffer was fired. It sounded like Secretary Clinton accepted his apology. Do they move on? Is all well now?
Yeah, they did move on after they very quickly disposed of that, and I was very proud to see that Senator Sanders did the right thing and apologized and acknowledged that there was wrongdoing done by his campaign. And he said that, you know, subsequent staffers, if they are found to have been culpable, that they would be fired as well. And that was the right thing to do. And the most important thing tonight was our candidates, I thought, did all Americans proud by having a robust and substantive discussion about the issues that are important to move America forward. And in stark contrast, by the way, to the cage match food fight that happens when the Republicans get together.
We'll get to more of that in just a minute, but one more question on this. Something I hadn't heard before tonight. Senator Sanders mentioned that a couple of weeks ago, or a couple of months ago, there were other breaches of this nature, that they quietly went to the vendor who's working with the DNC on this, that things were resolved, that it had happened previously in the past. This time he said it was different. There were press releases. It went public. Don't know if he was suggesting anything by that, but is it true that this has happened in the past, and why this time did it become such a public issue?
Well, there was another instance in which there was a glitch that occurred that allowed the campaigns to potentially see one another's data. In that instance, which was on a separate part of the database, not the same as this one, there was absolutely no breach, and there were no candidates' staff that took advantage of that, and no proprietary information taken. The reason that this blew open was because, as Senator Sanders acknowledged, his staff did engage in wrongdoing and made the wrong decision this time, and as a result we had the events unfold as they did. But last night they answered our questions, agreed, as Senator Sanders said on stage tonight, to an independent audit and full cooperation. He apologized, and we are moving forward, and we're going to talk about the issues that are important to the American people.
And you did tonight, the three candidates, I think the most heated that we've seen, all three of them, a real challenging of each other, of each other's ideas. We did see some differences in the candidates and their philosophies on everything from ISIS to the economy tonight.
We did see them have differences of opinion on their approach on the economy, on education, but those differences were marginal, really. And at the end of the day, all of our candidates on stage tonight agree that we need to help Americans build those cornerstones of a middle-class life, help people be more likely to reach the middle class, and make sure that we can create opportunities for people to succeed. In contrast to the Republicans, who want to take Americans' health care away, and who believe that we shouldn't make student loans more affordable and education more affordable in this country, who think that chest beating is going to keep Americans safe, rather than actually building coalitions with nations across the globe to combat terrorism and keep Americans safe. So much more agreement than disagreement from our candidates, unlike the Republicans.
Well, of course, the Republicans would take issue with all of those statements about how they plan to handle the economy and health care, which they want to, they say, reform and make sure that there's, and that's another debate and another night. In the meantime, we are just getting information coming in from the Sanders campaign that they have just suspended 2 more staffers in relation to the data breach. Your reaction?
Yeah, I saw that as well. Our understanding from the analysis given to us by the vendor was that there was more than one staffer involved, and Senator Sanders rightfully committed that if other staffers were discovered to be involved, that he would take action, and they seem to be in the process of doing that.
Okay. Do you think that there is a real opportunity for both Senator Sanders and former Governor O'Malley to make a real run at Secretary Hillary Clinton? Do you feel that her polling shows that she is so far ahead of both of them that she seems to be at this point an inevitable nominee? Is that good for her as far as the vetting process, the weeding out process, and getting ready for the general?
Oh, I think if you ask Secretary Clinton, she certainly wouldn't call herself an inevitable nominee. This is a campaign that is continuing. We have no voting that's taken place yet. All of our candidates are running vigorous campaigns, and it certainly remains to be seen who ultimately will become our nominee. And one thing I can assure you, though, is that what we had on that stage tonight is something the Republicans will never have, and that is the 45th President of the United States of America, because our candidates, all three of them, have positions that the overwhelming majority of Americans agree we should continue to make sure that we can keep Americans safe, help them reach the middle class, and make sure that we can help people achieve the American dream rather than roll back progress, as the Republican candidates wish to times when we actually ended up in the worst economic crisis since the Great Depression.
Time will tell. We'll all be watching. DNC Chairwoman and Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz, thanks for your time tonight.
Thanks.